feminines, welcome to Larisa Lili Temperance. Today we're doing your quick masculine check-in. Happy New Year's, my feminines. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Brought in the new year as best as you can, but with intentions and with a positive outlook. 2021 is going to bring a lot of changes. I think this is a lot of adjustments in our lives, obviously with everything going on, but I feel that it's almost like there is going to be some level of acceptance, but also to take drastic change and measures in terms of our self-reliance and accountability to our lives and our shifts. So, there's a lot of things to look forward to. So here, especially with the connections, the twin connections, I do feel like I do feel a shift. So I wanted to do a reading now because I've been getting a lot of channel messages through the masculines, and one within myself. I noticed how much my masculine energy was very strong the past couple of weeks. Like I mentioned, if you guys checked out my last video, obviously coming into this connection, I've had my masculine and energy has been dismantling too. And so I've been coming more home into my feminine energy, which was the side of me that was obviously deprived and, never feeling safe, and learning to do that for me, myself, and how much the masculine energy has kind of kept me that, but not with my heart chakra closed. And so if anything, this connection has definitely brought my heart chakra opening, and I just find myself so much more in my feminine energy lately, and kind of it's just where I belong. And honestly, it's been deprived, and it's been a very interesting journey the past couple of weeks, having to kind of deal with the masculine sides of myself that I just don't no longer really resonate. Although I appreciate my strengths, I appreciate my logical approach, which in all honesty puts me in such a space to be able to connect with the masculines, because I know that other readers kind of like to fluff the twin flame journey so much into like masculines, all lovey-dovey, but the truth of the matter, masculines are not like at that level of lovey-dovey. That's just not true, because I know that within myself, and I know that within my own connection, although I absolutely adore my masculine, but we don't, masculine energy doesn't see it in such a fluff, fairy tale way. They see this as a logical process, and how do you get around it with all the other things that they've got going on in their lives. And for those who are listening to this for the first time, I'm in finance, and so that's very male dominated, and I've had to step into my masculine energy for a very long time. I've been doing it for 16 years in this career, and it's that environment, corporate America, it's not the most healthiest. It's very toxic in terms of competition, very very matrix. It's very following the work code, and it's really about relationships. It's not performance based. That's a lie. There's nothing, performance reviews is all a lie. It's really about relationships and who's going to sponsor you, who's going to fight for you. And so there's a lot of that just isn't realistic, and very unfair, and not a lot of justice. And obviously when you come into awakening, you're more into your spirituality, and so you're all about justice, and you're all about what's fair. And to tell you the truth, corporate has just been a lie. I've been doing management now for some time, and I'm over it. I really am over it. But all to say this, feminines, this is just how masculines think about things. Like, especially if you have masculines who do well for themselves, and you're not like other feminines who deal with more lower vibrational masculines who maybe And it's not to say that one is better than the other, but every masculine encounters different lessons. They signed up for different journeys and different missions in their life. And so, there are those who are more low vibrational, where we're really brought up in broken homes and maybe don't have these high level careers, but deal with other aspects in terms of what they need to survive and kind of come out of in terms of their awakening transitions. And so those who are in, dealing more with finance, they're either workaholics, they hide behind ego, are more ego-based masculines. They're distorted through the corporate, through the matrix, through the competition amongst other masculines and what's expected of a masculine. And so, in those aspects, I can totally relate with the masculines. Like I totally get it. And one, my birthday was December 31st, in case any of you feminines didn't know. I had my birthday, I just turned 40. But being a feminine who has been, single for so long, I did have my 14-year relationship that didn't work out. Whatever, he left me for someone else. Wow, as I say that. So yes, this is still a thing. We're going to get to that, feminines. But just so you guys get to know me a little bit, yeah, I had a 14-year relationship, and he ended up leaving me for someone else anyways. Why? While he also moved up into the corporate ladder, all of a sudden ego kicked in, and it's almost like he needed someone better than me, and he shifted to someone else who he thought would be better than me. I mean, long story short, I've been single for 7 years now, but being alone and owning it all the time and just taking care of myself, I don't have that life where I can, my father passed away in 2016. My mother has Alzheimer's. I don't have a support system. So a lot of it was me surviving myself, and really just being put to really figure things out all the time and really be in that masculine energy, just because nothing ever made me feel safe. I always had to kind of take care of myself and figure it out. And so, I can see, I've always had to figure it out. I always had to be in that masculine energy. And, for once in my life, I'm able to embrace more of my feminine, especially with the spiritual work that I'm doing. And never did I think that I would follow my dad's legacy. And, he knew all along, before he passed away, it was me. So it's been an interesting journey of where it brought me to, and experiencing this side of myself finally, and I do feel like I'm at home. So it's been an interesting journey. But feminines to our masculines. So this flipped, and I knew this was gonna flip. This, obviously, the Tower, you guys, the Tower. The last reading I did, Tower was also here. And this is out with the old, in with the new. And wow, as I said that, you feminines now, on my clock, it was 8:18. So heaven is showing you a sign that it's time to move in a new direction. And yes, masculines are experiencing this, including myself in my masculine energy. Often this is because you're not happy and feel a lack of purpose in your life. This is a wake-up call to make changes that match your heart's desires and spiritual truths. And feminines, you have to understand, this is what this journey is. Your twin flame is you, right? Your masculine carries your masculine. That's what your masculine carries. If you're the feminine, your masculine carries your masculine energy. That is you. So they're still in closing karmic cycles. I get that very strong. But this is like a huge review. So they're out with the old, in with the new. They're in judgment, and with this death energy, they're very focused on union. They're very focused on elevation, elevating themselves, raising their vibration. And they're being guided by their ancestor guides, especially our source God and their higher self. Their higher self has definitely stepped in, and they are awakened to the higher self. And once they're awakened to their higher self, it's a version of themselves that they have to get to know, which also takes time. It'll take time for them to learn those aspects of themselves, because it's also unknown territory. It's also a self that they have to also fall in love with, also, you know, as well. And let's see, you know, these are for masculines who are in a different cycle. Like, you know, depending on your cycle, your twin cycle, every cycle is different. You know, if you're much early in the journey, you know, this may not feel too, like, and I'm saying early in the journey, you know, if you're in like the first year of your journey, first year and a half of your journey, this may not be the cycle your masculine's in, depending on how fast you've moved along in your journey. So again, I'm not even gonna say that because it's possible, it's very possible, but you know, feminines, you'll know exactly where your masculine is based on what you feel. So let's see, let me get another spirit, give me another major arcana shift for the masculines, please. The message I got, because I always like to pull a message of what they want to tell you, and they want you to know, you made me realize I want to do better working on myself because of you. So they're working on themselves. So this is what this is. They're working on themselves. They know that that's it. They have to work on themselves. So Spirit, give me one more major arcana. Shuffle again, see if they want me to, you know, it's funny because prior to me opening this video, my lamp in my bedroom was flickering. There we go. Yeah, this is judgment. What did I just say? Judgment, review, and contemplation. So you've accomplished a great deal in your life, and you have much to be proud of. Now it's time to decide what's next. As you contemplate the past and the present, you'll get clear on the divine life purpose. Don't be distracted by conventional thinking. Be the real you. And this is what they're converting to. They are definitely shifting, and their eyes are opening. And in all honesty, I don't feel like they want to fight it anymore. There was so much resistance for so long, and that hermit, you know, the hermit was very depressive energy, to be honest. It was so much transitions, and I still feel they're in and out of that state in terms of their emotions, but there's more surrendering and acceptance, which was my last video, because I do feel them more in surrender and acceptance and needing to shift from that, you know, the state of depression, the state of mourning, and that is the death of the ego, their old self, things that they don't resonate with, things that they know they need to change. Again, this is a review of their divine life purpose. You know, they've been in hermit and judgment for some time, but at this point, with this tower, it's almost like it's time for them to end the stagnation of constantly reviewing their lives and finally shift out with the old, in with the new, and make a decision. And that's where they're at. So let's see, Spirit, give me an oracle. Oh, wow, this is a lot, but I see it. Okay. I mean, seriously. All right, so this is a lot, which honestly makes sense. So meditation, right? This is that hermit, understanding, contemplating. So take some time out to focus and be silent. Calm your overreactive mind. And masculines, if you guys are watching, hopefully, you know that this is what you're feeling. Calm your overreactive mind and become one again with your soul. The answer you seek will come to you when you're at peace with yourself. Seek help. Yeah. You know, the situation requires professional insight. You're being guided to find a counselor, mentor, coach, psychologist, doctor to get you through this pain. There is nothing wrong with asking for help. You will get there. Hang on. And facing fears. You are running, but you can't hide. It is time to go within and face what you fear, what is holding you back, and living your best life. You're the only one who can. It starts with you and ends with you. And they're recognizing that it's at this point, there is no other way around this. They have to face this. It starts with them and it ends with them. That's why this is out with the old, in with the new. And what do we have here? New direction. Your higher self is calling you to take a new direction. This could be a new career, job, friendship, or even a new love relationship. This new path will lead you to your highest good. Trust it and just follow the road ahead. I mean, seriously, feminines, like, this is a lot. And I can relate to these energies. I totally can, as just like the masculine. So the more you start merging with your twin and your masculines, I'm telling you, this is just soul alignment. The more you become aligned with your masculine feminine energies and start understanding, the more you understand your twin and what they're suffering and what is it that they're experiencing in this time. So let's just keep going. I know I haven't given feminines a video in some time. I just did that one video last time, but honestly, I've been feeling all this. It's just been really, really, really tough, you know. So Spirit, give me more on the masculines. Yeah, give me more on the masculines, please. Thank you. So I'm not taking these, but I'll take those. Right. See, first card that came out was unrequited love. Right. So this is, love yourself first. So this is something they're obviously processing. This could be the one. We've got trust and reconciliation. So yes, masculines obviously know this connection. They already know him. And honestly, because here says you've already met the romantic partner you seek. So they know they met you. They know they have to trust the process in order to come back into union. This is a process. All this is a process. In order for them to get here to union, they have to learn to love themselves first. They have to learn this self-love. They have to face their fears. They have to really seek, go within. And they're now with this new direction, which is what I was telling you guys. They're finally getting to know their higher self. This is a new version, you know, and they have to fall in love with this higher self version of themselves. And I just love what I say, and I have to read it again. Your higher self is calling you to take new direction. This could be a new career, job, friendship, or even a new love relationship. This new path will lead you to your highest good. Trust it and just follow the road ahead. And so their higher self is finally speaking, and they're hearing, and they're listening. Even if they don't view it that way, I mean, in the terms that we are speaking it in, feminines, but they feel it. You know, the yearning to make things different, the yearning to change their lives. And it's just it's a call, and it's a feeling. There's something here that I need to remove. What is this? It's from another deck. Okay, sorry, I was just clearing that stuff out. Normally when cards are in, I would normally read them, but I knew those were intentionally in there. I put them there, so that's why it was in no mistake. So I didn't want to read them because honestly, they didn't belong there. Okay, so what do we got? Yeah, 10 of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, right? They're focused on union, family, wealth, inheritance, success, loving, stable, flowing, caring. You know, they're focused on union. They're focused on what is the next steps in their life. Spirit, give me more of the masculines, please. Give me more of the masculines. Oh, this one doesn't belong. Give me more of the masculines, please. You know, they're focusing on a different life. You know, what they can have emotionally once they also heal their heart, right? Heal their feminine energy. Also, this is a healing in their feminine energies, as I was saying, dealing with careers, reprioritizing, stabilizing themselves of what's important in terms of things that matter. We have 10 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and 5 of Pentacles. So 2 5s and a 10. So and actually 2 10s. So this also, because we have 10s, this is also completion, right? So this is dropping the burdens. This is a huge shift. This is 5 5 changes, you know, changes. 5 is change. I'm sorry. The number 5 is change, and it's a lot of uncertainty too. So there's just a lot of realignment. It's a realignment, trying to figure out all these uncertainties in their lives of how to really restabilize themselves, right? And to bring this connection into union. here we have Two of Swords in the bottom. And so this also says avoid and stalemate decisions. And so this is just decisions that they have to make. There's a lot they have to do, you know, yet they feel very defeated with this five of Swords. And the Five of Pentacles is feeling lack. So they're getting through these emotions of just their, I really do feel a sense of depression, because here in this deck, you know, every deck is different. So the energy of this deck is hard times, you know. These are really difficult times, and they know that this transition, it has been extremely burdensome. And obviously here we have, this is Ten of Wands, Saturn energy. And Saturn energy is really a dismantling of, you know, the patriarchy, and that's what very masculine as well. And anything they were attached to in terms of distorted masculine energy. And this transition obviously has not been easy. But they have to learn to, again, this is about loving themselves, reprioritizing the things that are important to them, you know. You know, their attachments to work, to money, obviously wasn't really loving themselves. It was loving material things, and those things also no matter, because at the end of the day, you know, it didn't really bring them happiness. So Spirit, give me more on the masculine. Give me more on the masculine, please. What else the masculines want the feminines to know? Right, because we also have, remember, unrequited love here. So, wow, these are really burdensome energies, right? I mean, they know what the goal is, but again, Page of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. And this is about finding practicality with the Page of Pentacles. Practicality, the practicality of the littlest things. And with the Nine of Wands, this is all your trials and tribulations. So they're trying to find some level of appreciation of what they have, what they currently have, and learning to believe in themselves, and actually not give up in this journey, because you know, this is very heavy energy. We have Wheel of Fortune here, right? So obviously this is a turning point, a huge turning point in this cycle of what they're experiencing, because, right, it's the number 10, and then we have review and contemplation, which is in 2020. So this is a turning point of what they've been reviewing, and multiple towers in between, right? Because this is extremely burdensome. A lot of them experience the dark night of the soul again, you know, and that's not easy energy. This is it's this huge change. Again, and then we have another 10 with this Wheel of Fortune here. And bottom of that is the Hanged Man. Oh my goodness. And then we've got Judgment again, and we have Ace of Cups, you know, and this is them with their heart, basically a heart awakening. All these energies is a heart awakening. This is truly a heart awakening, feminines. You know, and I've been feeling this heart awakening for some time. And, you know, this isn't easy. You know, bottom of that, look at that King of Cups, them coming back to their hearts, their emotions, finding some balance within them, their masculine and feminine energy to harmonize, because we have Six of Swords here, which is forward movement, right? Six of Swords is, the number 6 is harmonizing during this soul searching, during this soul searching they've been doing for some time. This is not going to be overnight. Masculines do not make quick movements. That's just masculine energy. They're very, especially when it comes to matters in their heart, that's just not what they do. And I can relate to that, because for a very long time, you know, I've been single for 7 years. For a very long time, of course I've dated, but I just so you guys get an idea of how easy the depths of my masculine energy is. I could take breaks for months away from dating, because it wasn't a priority. It just, honestly, it was more exhausting. It was energetically exhausting to me, and I'd rather not if I didn't see anything with a person within the, the first 4 weeks, I didn't care. I already had a decision. So it was very logical. My heart, I wasn't really letting on anyone really in, because I looked at everything from a logical perspective. I mean, it's not like I never fell in love. I fell in love. I was in my 14-year relationship. I was very in love with that man, but he definitely didn't take care of me. If I really think about it, I never felt safe. I never felt safe even with him to get out of my masculine. So basically, yes, he was a beta man. He was very much a beta man, because he was a man who still lived with mom in those 14 years we lived together. I mean, we worked together. We never even lived together. We were 14 years. So I was dealing with a beta man, not really strong in his masculine energy. So there was a lot I learned, from him, and the distorted masculine. Also learning what a distorted masculine who is very much in their feminine energy, who doesn't have confidence, because my ex didn't have any confidence, but it was due to the distorted feminine he was raised by. So he was very raised by a codependent mother who manipulated him, who put the burdens of the death of her husband on him since he was a kid, and had very, very high expectations. So basically, my ex used to live with the honey to-do list from mom. He never had time for me, which is why we couldn't live together, because he was always so overwhelmed with mom's honey to-do list that when it came to me, and then he had a child too, who he had a daughter with another woman before he met me. And so, he had a daughter who he had almost every weekend as well, who he spent time. So I was like always the end. I was like on the bottom of the priority list. But then it's like, it was a terrible feeling. But at the end of the day, I also was so independent that it was like, okay, whatever. I always had something going on. I always was doing something. But again, feminines, is to give you an idea of what this world, what we do in terms of all levels of masculine and feminine energy, even in terms of being careful as a feminine energy and how you project your distorted feminine to your sons. Because again, here, feminines come here and they'll be like, well, this is masculine, and they want to call I didn't like this comment one girl put, calling a masculine the devil. But yes, if your twin is you, then you're calling yourself the devil. And so she's telling all the feminines, she's giving advice to all the feminines to run, but run from what? From yourself, because that's you. At the end of the day, that is you also, because do know we are a huge part and a huge foundation in the masculines that are being raised. That is a responsibility. That is a responsibility. And that's how I ended up with a distorted masculine for 14 years of my life, who couldn't find any confidence, didn't have any confidence or self-worth. It was the biggest thing, he went through. And then once he accomplished with me, by the time he left me, he was making 6 figures. He was a VP in a hotel, and all of a sudden he got really confident, overly confident. And that's when he found someone else. And, you know how that story goes, right? So, I'm saying all this, feminines, because we have to understand the extent of these transitions. Also know that this is a spiritual connection. And so at the end of the day, your twin is bringing you back to source. They're bringing you back to source. This is coming home to you. Just like you have to respect and also send love to your masculine, because they're finally coming home to themselves. This isn't about idealizing a man or a woman. It doesn't matter gender here. We're here to shift the meaning of love, and it should be unconditional, and it should be respectful, and God comes first. God, the universe, source, whatever you connect with, source comes first. Our creator comes first. And you all know that. So Spirit, give me, what else the masculines? Okay, what if it just fell? Yeah, oh my God, see? Fifth dimension. This is confirmation. The creator comes first. Who we are above this 3D is what matters, really. This is what matters. So what else, Spirit? What else does the masculines want the feminines to know? Yeah, so look, I can tell already energy. We have winter, guide, and balance, justice. So this is their guidance during this winter. There's still a lot of guidance. They're being guided. We just said seek help. There's a lot of guidance there, whether they're hearing their guides, their higher self is with them. This is an introduction of all aspects of themselves that finally is coming into healing with justice. Bringing justice back to themselves, bringing justice back to the union. You know, here we have mirroring, self-worth, right? Working on their self-worth. What else does the masculines want the feminines to know? Yep. Hermit, healing. This is a time of contemplation, releasing burdens. So much feminines, I mean. Yep, look at this. Closing of the cycles. Want to bring compromise to you. This connection. And you know, they're thinking about you a lot. They're thinking a lot about the feminine. I'm also picking up, because inner child was in the bottom, I'm also picking up also coming to terms with a lot of coming to terms of balance, of healing of their childhood, whatever affected them as a child. You know, maybe me giving you this example of my ex with his cray mom gives you some of you feminines maybe have experienced that as well, where you have a masculine who has self-worth, but it's because, again, the distorted feminine they were raised by, right? So, you know, the distorted feminine they were raised by was also unhealed, and so projected a lot onto them as a child. So let's see at some blockages here for the masculines, and then we'll get some messages and we'll close the read. So what else, Spirit? What are the blockages for the masculines? What are the blockages they're focusing on right now? What are their blockages? What are their fears and blockages? Duality. You've known the worst, prepping for the best. Yes. They're focusing on duality. We've got pain. The first step is to acknowledge the pain. And this is the acknowledging everything they've experienced, acknowledging how they got to where they are now, acknowledging the ego self and how much neglect they've been giving, you know, how unbalanced all their chakras were, how unaligned they've been all this time in terms of what really mattered. And then, of course, comfort. Step out of your comfort zone, and them having to step out of that comfort, because in all honesty, it's been comfortable. It's the ego self they've known for so long. To step out of that, to step into their higher self and their divine self, and to unite to source, right? To more of their spiritual aspects, which is within their hearts, is very uncomfortable. It's not where they're used to being. And bottom of that, I love it because it says rituals. Practice processing old wounds and working with the rhythm of creation. And this is working with the rhythm of creation right now for themselves. So let's see. You know, they are working like that. That's that message they gave. You made me realize. You made me divine feminine. You made them realize that they want to do better. They want to do better by being an example, especially for these feminines. And I'm saying this for the feminines who have been in their grace, who have taken back their power and loved themselves. Loving yourself is showing your twin. Again, your twin is you. Is showing your twin how to love themselves. And that's why we have here, right? They're learning to love themselves first, because they're watched you love yourself. So let's see what does the masculines want? What do we got here? You've been thinking about me because I've been thinking about you. We're connecting, and that's alignment. This is energy. So shared energy, merging energy is here. And again, it's what I was saying earlier, me feeling more of my masculine. There is merging energy happening right now in terms of our masculine and our feminine energy with the both of us. I'm sure they're experiencing certain, you know, my masculine's experiencing certain aspects of my energy as well, you know, and, you know, there's no denying that. I really, you know, I was talking to, oh dear God, feminines. You see, this is masculine. This is my masculine. I'm not OCD. I wouldn't even care. The Gina version, the old Gina version would have been like, oh, whatever. But apparently this matters to me because my masculine's OCD. So, and it's funny because it happens more during readings. Other times I'm not like that. So, what was I saying, dear God? Oh yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was saying exactly what I was just saying. Habits I picked up of my masculines, and things that I didn't have within myself once my heart opened, where my masculine's more. So my masculine loves pets, he has 2 beautiful dogs, and I didn't care for dogs prior to that. And my God, like, those dogs are my babies. Like, I love them so much. And I've learned to have so much love for animals and pets and just animals in general, to tell you the truth. I have a mice here that I'm just trying to see if he leaves the house, but he's getting a little fat, so I don't know what he's finding. He almost looks like the Gus from Cinderella. He appeared like 2 days ago. I'm almost afraid that he might not make it, because usually mouses are not supposed to be in the house, but normally I would kick and scream out of seeing a mice, and I'm actually very calm. That's not like me. I'm like, even though I'm grossed out of it, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, see him and I'm like, oh God, can you please find a way to get out? Like, so I'm gonna have to figure it out, tell my super or something, because he's getting a little pudgy. I saw him today and I was like, ooh, he's fat. All right, so what else does the masculines want the feminines to know? Secrets. I hid something from you and I'm afraid to tell you about it. And yeah, you know, they're in this time of processing. They're just burdensome of their old selves, how again they have never lived, living out of integrity, facing themselves right now and who they used to be it's almost like this judgment, this review of themselves, right? Because we have judgment twice here, and the Tower, it's just this review of who they were. There's so much guilt, just even how they were with you, and just not seeing clearly. And here we have letter. I will be writing you a message, and I do feel, contact will be happening. And yeah, here we go. I didn't know what I had until you were gone. Lesson learned, feminines. Lesson learned. So let's just get some more messages and then we'll close this reading up. What else does the masculine want the feminines to know? Oh my God, I love that they've been saying this for some time. Our story will be the greatest love story ever told. You'll see. What else they want the feminines to know? I'm sorry, what are the masculines want the feminines to know? Oh my God, see? You showed me what real love feels like. Yeah. That's why they said, you made me realize I want to be a better version of myself. That's why they're working on themselves because of you. You showed their heart has opened, and that is what union, the twin journey is about. It's about coming home to you, self-love, loving yourself, right? During our time apart, I'm growing and learning every single day, step by step. I'm becoming the person you deserve. I mean, yeah. And love it. Bottom of the deck, I found myself when I found you. Bingo, feminines. I mean, you know, again, masculines, we love you. I love you, masculines. I love you, my masculine. I love you. You know, I have faith that they will find their way. You know, they will find their way and come out of their own darkness. And I give thanks to them, you know, for this new year. You know, here we are in new year. I do give thanks to them for being that anchor and showing us our way to the light, while they held all that dark while we came to the light, you know. And for that, I am grateful for the masculines. You know, that's not, they had a very, very tough time, but we have to love them enough to go to the light so they can finally rise. And that is the love we need to show them, so they can finally rise, because the longer we don't rise, the longer they stay in the dark. So feminines, I love you. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell button if you enjoyed my frequency. But with that said, live always relentlessly in striving aspiration. This is the evolution of your soul, and I'm here to nurture you. Until next message, bye.